Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I thought I'd get on here and share another dream with you guys that I had. And I was trying to think which one should I talk about now, and I figured I'd go ahead and tell you guys the dream where I was in a big shopping center with my mom and my dad and his friend. So, in the beginning of my dream, my dad's friend called us up saying, hey, he wanted to go check out this shopping mall area that they just opened up, and it was going to have some Bigfoot related stuff in it. I said, oh, really? I'm down. But boy, once me and my folks, dad's friend, arrived there, it was more than just Bigfoot stuff. They had Christmas ornaments, Santa figurines on one floor, and then when you go down the bottom floor, it's like Halloween related stuff. And then you go up to like the second floor, and they had like a big size cafeteria there with a buffet, people to enjoy a good meal while they're shopping. And I tell you what, they let me go wander around myself, and Mom went to the top floor, which had all the Christmas stuff. I was going to meet her up there, but I wanted to look around at the Bigfoot stuff with my dad and his friend first. And then I split from them and went down to the first floor. And come to find out, not only did they have Halloween stuff down there, they even had, I'm not kidding, a movie theater. I was like, dang, they're really trying to entertain all their shoppers in there. And I think they were just playing like some sort of documentary about like some fish or marine life. And I said, nah, I'm getting out of here. But they had all those big comfy recliner seats in them. Got out of there and I went through one floor, and I was looking at the directions on the maps they had. And I ended up in the food court buffet area. I said, I'm not even hungry yet, so I got to get out of here before I start grabbing a plate. But there you had fish, steaks, chicken, pizza, hamburger sliders, quesadillas, and burritos. I mean, golly, people will have a field day in the food court by itself. So I went through there and cut through to the Halloween section, looked around in there. They had animatronics, Halloween masks. I said, oh, that's my section. I better look at that. And hanging on the shelves, they had like those little mini skeletons, and then they had the big long ones that you can hang up. They almost look human size. And I'm trying to think what else they had. Oh, fog machines, and they even had one going just to show you how thick of fog it produced. And I said, I better catch up with my folks. So I passed through the Halloween stuff, and not only did I pass through the first floor that had Halloween stuff, when I was getting up to the second floor, it was wood carvings in there. I was like, oh my Lord. I mean, they had wood carved walking sticks, kind of like the ones you've seen in my videos before. Ornaments, stuff that you hang on the wall, like plaques with your name and stuff. I was like, wow, these are cool. I mean, there's a lot of artistry put into that stuff. Got through that, and then I went to second floor, and I found a bunch of clown stuff, and I was like, golly, this mall has everything I like. And I looked around, and they had a bunch of figurines, posters, and clown wigs and makeup for professional clowns. And then I got up to the third floor where they had all the Christmas stuff, and I'm like, golly, that was my floor. They had Christmas decorations, ornaments, Santa figurines, elves that hang on trees, and elf on the shelf. They had Christmas lights, Christmas trees. Lord, I had a field day up on that floor. Until Mama pointed out, like in the corner, and I looked over and I said, oh snap, they had Santa suits for sale. And I was like, did you even see if they had one in my size? She said, I think there's one left over there. So I went to go check. Sure enough, there was one in my size. And I said, well, how much are these things? And the price was $225. I said, you know, that ain't bad, because sometimes suits that were made for stores would go up to like $240, $250, almost $300. I said, that's cheap. And luckily I had enough cash in my pocket, so I was able to buy the suit and a wig and beard set. But then Mama pointed out that they had some Santa sacks for sale too, and I said, Lord have mercy. I told her this mall is lit. they had everything that I would like to have, you know. So I looked in the department that they have like Santa sacks and other costume accessories, and sure enough, there's some Santa sacks. I saw one that was velvet. I said, "Oh, I'm getting that one," and I grabbed me some wrist bells, a pair of fake Santa glasses that had the round lenses, because I really am not a fan of those Santa glasses. They're kind of squared off and they're kind of small. It looked like you always had to put them up to your nose like that, but these you could actually push up to your face. I said that will help indeed because it make me look older. I picked up that stuff and I walked with my mom, showed her the other floors, and we bumped right into my dad and his friend, and they couldn't believe all the stuff that was in there. And I went back to the Halloween section, and Mom helped me out pick out a few Michael Myers and Ghostface masks that I didn't have in my collection. She picked up a few Christmas ornaments and stuff for our trees. And then my dad's friend said, "You did not check out the other big place in this mall." I said, "What big place?" They had to tell me that there was a knife shop in there as well. I'm talking cold steel knives, Case, Gerber, United Cutlery knives, like Gil Hibben knives. But it was jam-packed. They even had swords in there. I was like, thank God I won the lottery. But I didn't have enough money to pay for any knives that day, so I said to Mama, maybe me and you need to come back up here one day. And she said, I agree. There was a lot of stuff that she couldn't even pick up. I saw some Santa figures I wanted. I couldn't get them because I picked up the suit. And then we just took all of her stuff to the car, locked the car up, and went back in to eat. And I tried to not overfill my stomach. And then they had, for dessert, they had chocolate cake, cookies, cupcakes, like chocolate pudding, banana pudding. And I think they had like apple pie and blueberry pie, sweet potato pie, chocolate pie. And I was like, golly, are they trying to give me a sugar high? But then we got done and said goodbye to the mall and took off. Then I woke off. I said, man, I wish somebody would take one of these old malls and add stuff in stores like that, because I would be in there 24/7. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this dream. It was crazy, I know. But I thought I'd get on here and share it with y'all before I forget. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I said that's a wrap. And happy Valentine's Day, buddy.